Hello, this is the Danger Man 49, and today we're going to talk about the Vault of Glass adept weapon Vision of Confluence, which I was lucky enough to have dropped for me yesterday after completing the raid. And as you can see, I've maxed it out, so it's got all the bells and whistles on it, and we're just gonna go through a little gameplay and show you what this little beast can do. As you can see, I'm gonna do a drift test to see how stable it is. And as you can see, it's very damn stable. There is next to no drift whatsoever when it comes to shooting this gun. So very stable. So now, as you can see, you're doing around 8,000 to the head, and cleared out here, so we're just gonna go around to another area, do a bit more on this review, so sit tight and I'll be doing some more commentary soon. And as you can see, even at our mid-range is still hitting just under 8,000, so the drop-off from close-ish range to a medium range is very, very slight. And as you can see, the drawback is that if you're in a tight situation, it's not a bad juju type gun where it's going to give you, or a double triple tap, it gives you more ammo. It will run out in annoying places. That's the only thing I found on a drawback on that. As I haven't recorded it, but I did take this into Clash in the Crucible, and it performed really well. I did get a 12 kill streak with it, which is fair, considering I'm not the best PvP player in the world, as people who've played on my fire team will certainly tell you. I'm a Marmite player. I'm either on it or I'm crap. As you can see by that, it is pretty hard impact weapon. Got a good rate of fire. And as you can see, firing from the hip or down the sight, it gives a good punch. What you may also notice is yesterday I was also lucky enough to complete the Vault of Glass raid armor. I needed the helmet for, well, since the Age of Triumph dropped. I got the rest of the VOG armor quite quickly, but yesterday I finally got the helmet to complete the VOG Titan armor, which I must say does look pretty cool, especially with the ornamentation on it. But I digress. We are talking about the gun, not the armour. So now we're gonna go over to the next map, and we're gonna do some medium and long range testing on it to see how far away you are before it seriously drops off with the impact. As you can see here, I'm probably mid-range, and it's still hitting over 7,500 to the head. And here we go again. I think if I remember rightly, this is the Archon's Keep. This is the last area I'm in before the video ends. As you can see, at mid-range, it's still doing crit hits. It's still doing around 7.5 crit hits, 7,500 crit hits. At a decent range. The other advantage of this over some of the other adept scout rifles is the full auto perk. The drawback is that it doesn't have like the Wrath of the Machine adept weapons and legendary weapons. It doesn't have the double tap, triple tap, which you can't have everything in a gun, but it is starting to become one of my go-to exotic weapons. Yes, I've only had it a couple of days, but it is starting to become a go-to weapon. Like I said, it got me a 12 kill streak in the Crucible on Clash, and 5 out of the 6 rounds I did on Clash today, I got kill streaks of between 5 and 12. So it does well. Now here's some long range. I'm starting here, and you can see the drop off is really marked. It's gone from 8,000 crit hits close up to around 7,500 crit at medium range to only around 1,000 crits at that distance. But yeah, talking across the other side of the map, so that's sniper range, and you're still getting hits of over 1,000 from a primary scout rifle at sniper range. So I would say it's handled itself extremely well, firing from the hip close range, getting shots medium range, and as you can see, I got myself into a bit of bother there. I do love the vision of confluence, because it does it does sound, it sounds good. It looks like a nice weapon. It's well balanced. In fact, it's got brilliant stability. You don't have to look down the sights all the time. It's got good stability firing from the hip. It's got good stability firing down the sight, and it's an all-round, very, very solid all-round weapon. And my personal my own personal opinion is that it is a really good solid all-round weapon. And does it deserve all the praise it's getting? My own personal humble opinion, yes, it is well worth having dropped. Even if it's just the legendary version without the adept version, you're still going to get a good roll. You're still going to get very good stability. I know this because I have the legendary version as well, so I'm greedy. And it sits really nicely if you've got the legendary version. It's well worth sticking with. If you got the adept version, is it worth the exotic slot? Personally, I would say yes, because I have got good legendary in my heavy slot. I've got the Vault of Glass rocket launcher with tripod, so it carries 3 in the tubes, and it also has the Vault of Glass own version of cluster bombs. So I've got that in my heavy slot. I've got the Vault of Glass fusion rifle in my secondary slot. It has massive impact, good range. So yeah, this is definitely worth an exotic slot if you've got a good heavy and a good secondary, which my build at the moment, like I said, is this in my as my exotic slot. I've got the VOG fusion rifle in my secondary slot, massive impact, good range, and I've got the VOG rocket launcher in my heavy slot, again good range, massive impact, has tripod, has cluster bombs. So yeah, I think it's a good all-round setup to have. The downside is that it's all solar burn, but hey, you can't have everything.